All right, so off season is done for the Patriot Football League. We're going into our 27th season. Schedule's done, and let's go ahead and take a look at what happened to the teams in the off season. It was a pretty uneventful off season. Columbia is caught in a weird situation. They technically, if the reality is, they really should fire Armin Ruiz. He's an A offense D coach. He's a split coach, which is there's two split coaches. There's offensive minded, defensive minded. However, how do you fire a guy that has been in two championship games the last 2 years and has won one of them in his fifth year? Hard to say, but I rolled defense again, and because of that D, luckily for Dell, I rolled high, and he maintains his C, but it's just playing with fire that defense is going to drop again. But either way, we're going into the offseason with very few changes to Columbia. They have $19 million in the bank. And then I re-roll the GM after you do the offseason stuff. You re-roll the GM grade, and A. So Dell is going to be, that just tells me the scouting staff and the team, the group, through this season will be preparing for a big offseason next year. And that might be the time to fire Ruiz. But, again, how do you fire a guy that's been in back-to-back championships and won the last one? London maintained across the board. They have $4 million in the bank, but their GM dropped to a D. So going into next offseason, they're going to be rolling the D chart to see how it affects the team, and that's not good. So Plattsburgh greatly improved. This is the best Plattsburgh's been yet in the last 9 years. Plattsburgh is an A offense, B defense. Their defense went up. I rolled a defensive change, and they went up. That is accounted for by a star DL. Taggart was drafted number 1. And their GM role went up. So Plattsburgh is on a high. This is a team that should, in reality, be in the championship this year, and going into the next offseason should be able to maintain this steady role. The NBT, nothing changed. Most importantly about the NBT is they have retained that defensive A grade for 5 years, and it is the single reason the NBT is constantly competitive. That defense is huge, and fortunately for them, they've maintained all 3 of their stars, and they've maintained their grade. However, and their GM maintained his role. They've only got $7 million, but again, this is a team that has won 3 titles in the last 8 years. San Fran finished 3-3 last year. Their head coach retains. Nothing changed. San Fran, the only thing that happened is their GM went down a grade for next off season. They have $19 million in the bank. And Dayton, who's for the back-to-back seasons, falls on 1-5. They've actually improved. I rolled a defensive change, and luckily for John, I rolled a high. They are a B defense, which means they drafted number 2, a star DB Brandeis rookie. And that accounts for why their grade went up to a B. However, their GM is dropped to a D for this next off season. So I don't know if Dayton's going to be able to maintain this. And they have $14 million in the bank. Columbia Coolers with 119 victories in their history, 75 losses, 7 titles, 26 years in existence. Dayton Triangles have 105 victories in their career, 87 losses, 4 titles, 26 years. The NBT have 93 victories, 96 losses, 5 titles, 26 years. The San Francisco Miners have 90 victories, 97 losses, 2 titles, 26 years. Plattsburgh's 94-93, no titles in 25 years. And London FC is 9-3 in 2 years, no titles. London, of course, is formerly Mesa Machine. And that's the offseason for this group. We're kicking it off. The PFL 2046 Kickoff Spectacular, it's called. The first game of the year is going to match up the last 2 champions. In 2044, Northborough defeated Columbia 13-0 to win their 5th title, and Columbia last year defeated London 23-17 in double overtime. So this Kickoff Spectacular features the last 2 champions. By the way, Northborough's won 3 in the last 8 years. They defeated Dayton. 2 of those came at the expense of the Dayton Triangles. And both of Columbia's championships in the last 8 years have come by way of Mesa/London. So Columbia's won 2 titles in 8 years, both against this franchise, London, or /Mesa. All right, I'm using my my book. This is what I use for 99% of my gaming. This is my big boy. This is my 200-page. All 8 of the games are in this book. This is my preferred set of teams, or set of rules, and this is what I use 99% of the time, and that's what I'll be using today. All right, so the NBT come in here with a brilliant defense led by Walters, Beathard, and Colburn. On the flip side, they have a quarterback, second-year kid Jones, a 3-year back in Wright, and a 9-year veteran at wide receiver Kipling. They have also a star place kicker in Canisi in his 5th year. Columbia Coolers at home in the Icebox. They have Kingfisher, who's been to back-to-back championships. He's finally won one in double overtime. They have an 8-year vet at running back, and they have a star receiver in Swanson in his 4th year. They have a second-year linebacker, star Barnwell, and they also have a star place kicker in Klein. So both of these teams are solid. No doubt, though, Northborough with that A defense is probably going to have the edge. But we're going to do some math here and figure it out. So Northborough C versus C is going to be C. So they're going to play on the C chart. And Columbia B versus A is going to play. B versus A is going to play on the D chart. So Columbia at home in defense of their 7th championship is going to be behind the 8 ball in this game. So Columbia gets the ball first. 5 on D. 5 on D is going to be a field goal. So we're going to get a Klein field goal, and that gives them a 3-point edge. All right, the NBT 4 NBT 4 on C is going to get a field goal of their own. That's going to be Canisi. And it's 3-3, folks, in the first quarter. Columbia continuing to move the ball, and it's going to end up being a punt for them. And the NBT, the final possession of the first quarter, is going to be 3, is going to also be a punt for them. Folks, we got us a tight ball game. We knew it would be a defensive game. 3-3 after 1. Columbia Coolers set out in the second quarter. 4 is going to be for them a punt. And the NBT, riding that strong defense, 4, they're going to get a field goal. So Canisi with another field goal. Columbia Coolers need to score 7 in quick light, but they're in D. They need to roll a 6 to score 7. They do it. Touchdown, 4. It's going to be a pass touchdown. Kingfisher with a pass TD. And 6. It's going to be a pass TD to Swanson. Yep. And PAT is good, and that was ginormous, as it is not going to be easy for Columbia to score today. And 4, another field goal for Canisi to wrap up the first half. Canisi with another field goal. Folks, it's going to be 6 and Columbia 7. It is 10-9. Columbia leads going into the halftime tunnel. Del Branham, again, improved his managerial skills. So he must have spent a little money on scouts, etc. So for next offseason, he'll be in an A. Gil Miller's at a C. Pablo Gonzalez in his 3rd year as head coach in Northborough, still a C, but he is maintaining that A defense. That's all that matters for this club. This is the cheapest owner in the league. John Williams makes only $1 million a year, so you can see they're playing with fire if they don't win. Unfortunately, they've been winners with a small stadium, and it's helped them build a little bit of money. All right, Del Branham, of course, plays in a medium statement, the Icebox. He's got $19 million in the bank. And again, this is a very good football team coming off a back-to-back championships, having won one, lost one, of course, having lost to Northborough. All right, Northborough comes out of the tunnel. They take the opening kickoff, and 2, they're going to stumble mightily and miss a field goal. So Canisi, their stud place kicker, is going to miss a field goal. Columbia Coolers, can they capitalize on that? They sure can. A field goal for their stud place kicker, Klein, field goal. That extends their lead by 4 points. Northborough, though, is going to punch it in on a pass play. Jones, their young quarterback, throws a pass TD to Wright out of the backfield. And, folks, we've got a ball game. It is now a 3-point advantage. All right, final drive in the third quarter. It's going to be a turnover. 4, it's going to be a fumble lost. 5, it's going to be an interception. Kingfisher, who had really cleaned up his turnover woes last year, is intercepted by Colburn, their stud DB. All right, NBT going in the C. So we got Canisi missed a field goal. Klein got a field goal. But Jones scored a touchdown pass. So it's 16 to 13. The NBT hold a 3-point edge on the hometown Columbia Coolers. 5. Oh, no. See, it's going to be another field goal for Canisi. Extends that lead. As Canisi lines it up and is true. Oh, no. It's going to be a missed field goal for Klein. So he misses a field goal on this one. The NBT up by 6. Oh, they're going to score a final touchdown. This is going to put icing on the cake. A pass for Jones. Pass TD for their guy, Kipling. PAT, and I think that's going to do it. Can Columbia at least look good in front of hometown fans in defense of their 7th title? Yeah, they're going to get a field goal. That ain't going to help them, though. Klein, a field goal. So 6 points for Columbia and 10 points for the NBT in the 4th. That's going to be 17, 23, 26. Let's see, 17, 23, yep, 26 to 16, 19. Not good. NBT are 1-0, 0-1. Columbia Coolers drop. So their first, I tell you, they have more trouble with this Northborough Tigers franchise than they would care to admit. And the reason for that is that A, defense. The Northborough Tigers have been defensive club really for their entire existence, and they maintain that kind of reputation. 26-19, Northborough 1-0, Columbia 0-1. Next up is San Fran at Plattsburgh, then London at Dayton. Next week, Columbia faces Plattsburgh. Northborough is going to London, and Dayton will face San Francisco. So there you go, folks. That's the first game of the 27th season of the Patriot Football League. We have gone over the offseason, and our kickoff spectacular saw the NBT with that great defense hold Columbia under 20 points, and they win it 26-19. Both Canisi and Klein missed field goals in this game, which is uncharacteristic. However, Kingfisher throws a touchdown, but he also regressed to his rookie days, throwing an interception. And their young quarterback, Jones, threw 2 touchdowns to help the NBT finish off Columbia in the icebox. Thanks for watching. Good day.